Alexis.
Hi, traders. It's 11:03 EST. Time for Mike and me. Mike at CPI came in hotter than expected. And, when that happened and we started getting a little sell-off, what came to mind was your January 20th date
That's true.
that we talked about. See, I have a memory like an elephant.
Yes, you do.
So, actually that is on a Saturday. And next Friday, we face a partial government shutdown.
That's
But
what
I
it
guess,
is. Right.
yeah. So I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on there, and I think today we've been talking about that the market had too aggressively priced in rate cuts, and that they're wrong-footed, and it might give them some pause. We'll see if they take some some of those dot plots away. But I just want to cover for our viewers some of the reaction in commodities and currency. So in currency, dollar isn't going to trade down to 101.5. We're on the verge of a breakout of this recovery. And long-term targets, well, not long-term, I thought we could be there maybe by month's end, is the 104.70. 104.80 is 61.8 back. So they're trying to hold the euro, but really not a nice looking day. And, this isn't exactly a bullish formation when you have a break and then all you do is move sideways. We couldn't even take out the stops over 110 today
True.
when they tried to rally it. So to me, path of least resistance is down, and between 107, say about 107, as close to 107 as possible, is a long-term buy in the euro. Same thing happening with Aussie. And, when I had people long Aussie, and when I was talking about the long side, I had targets at 68. We got to 840, and my long reentry is going to happen around 65 even. I think that most people are, don't feel like they've missed anything by not buying the gold. Still think that there's a chance for deeper than most people expect.
Right.
I've had this line drawn for months, and
Yeah.
it comes in around 1900. So that allows for like $100 break or better from where we are here. And that's when I'll be interested in buying the miners. Silver's been weaker than gold, and I
Yeah.
talked about it with the breakout that we had in the gold silver ratio last week. We broke out, we tested it, we held, which for silver squeeze guys isn't good news because this means gold's going to outperform. And all good bull markets happen when this is trending down, not breaking out to the upside. So just a quick look at some of the miners. Newmont had a special situation. They had to close one of their mines. Like that's why it, was hammered with gold up the other day.
I bought it and sold it today. I took a position. I said, I'm not ready.
All right, so I've been last week I said think that we could see 36 or a little bit under 36 off this line. That looks like a layup now.
I
So
probably think it might go to the 35 strike
maybe that's what's
by
going
that
on.
July, by that January 19th.
Well, think about it. If gold has another $100 to the downside, maybe they could even take these to new lows. There are some things making new lows. GDX doesn't look that great to me. I
It's
mean, look at
horrible.
that. It looks kind of ugly. It's under all the moving averages. Uh, this is a death cross, isn't it? Um, so we'll see. And the ones that I'm interested in, um, here is Fortuna, but it's still not at my range. I'm looking for 320 to $3, probably by month's end. And the cheap one that keeps looking like it's bottoming because it's diverging is not yet. So I'm just going to key the miners buy off when the physical markets get to the levels I just mentioned.
I have
Just
seen, I'm sorry, Coach, and
uh,
I just want to end the only sweeps to answer for it that I've seen today, and they're decent ones,
yeah.
are on GOLD, the entity.
Okay. Okay. So on
Old
the,
Barrick. I think it's for
oh,
last I looked, it was testing a 200-day support. GOLD was the only one that was taking uh option play. Some
okay.
decent play too. I mean, there wasn't,
What,
wide.
what strike and how much time are they buying?
I
This
have
is that.
here. September. Wow.
Okay. So,
September.
I mean,
Well,
that's really, that's pretty long term.
well, yeah,
Uh,
it is, but there's a lot of them going off, and I guess that really doesn't mean much because you're gonna, you know, a lot can happen between September.
yeah.
So yeah, but I'm just don't kill the messenger. That's what's happening.
Okay.
Gold,
Uh,
February. Oh, so hold on. Some February. Uh,
okay.
February. Yeah, February.
All right. And,
Yeah.
just looking at, here's the silver juniors. They don't look great, right? Maybe
No.
they're going to retest the lows. So, sometimes, and it doesn't show up in people's accounts, but if you avoid early entries and it doesn't show up as a profit or loss, but it's as important as a profit or
Absolutely.
a loss.
Or
So
start small. You know what I mean? You have to start small. That's what I've been doing. Just start smaller with these entries going with a contra trend or with it. Start small.
okay,
But there's a
all
lot, but
right.
listen, coach, it might be different this time. Like, look at AMD. My God, 140.
AMD I put up on the inside the room yesterday. I put it up because of this.
Now it's a double top.
Yeah. So that
This
looks
is the
pretty
day to do
heavy.
it. There's a lot of all-time, there's a lot of yearly high reversals today.
Yeah,
Red
even
volume.
Even Nvidia broke.
Look at Microsoft.
Yeah, Microsoft was up six yesterday. Up, yeah, and you know what? This is very interesting, Mike, that you brought up, Mike, Mr. Softy, people call it, right? Look at this new high. It didn't even get close to 70. And this was a triangle people were calling a wave four. Well, usually what you get is one more thrust out of this triangle, and it's a terminal thrust because it's five. Okay. I'm not saying five is over, but this is not a great looking day with RSI like this on the daily. So this might be completing something.
Well, coach,
Um,
it's on the tail end of the bigger ones breaking. Punch up your Tesla, which broke everything now.
yeah, Tesla is still ugly. And you
It
know
is
what?
ugly. That's
Look at this. We actually made a new high in the S&Ps. So we have a potential key reversal. And I thought we were only have a retrace, so I tried it yesterday. Nasdaq didn't make a new high. All right, it didn't get to new highs. It's a failing rally in Nasdaq. And but look how much progress both of those made. And then look at Apple. Apple could only generate off the 200-day moving average 7-point rally, which is a little less than 38%. And if we take out 180, which we held, which is a 200-day, there's some support at 76, 75 in the weeklies, but that opens the door for sharply lower. If
there is
the
some big.
guys, if the guy's talking 7,000 in the S&Ps, yeah, Apple could probably go to 215. But if there's a correction now, it's not ready.
Who's the
Um,
guy?
if if this is the best it could do, the high,
Who says 7,000 we're going to?
David Hunter.
Oh, okay. That's
And
fair.
Katie Stockton, she's not like she doesn't put out like hyperbolic calls.
She's good on the
Katie,
Nasdaq, Katie. She's good.
and she's saying at new highs in the S&Ps we could see 6,100.
Yeah. So
So
is
these
Tom
two,
Lee, and everybody is still. Yeah. No. Are you? So you're bullish, coach.
huh?
You're bullish.
I'm trading a
Okay, bravo.
bullish. I'm bullish, but I think there's going to be a break
Right. As
first.
as do
Yeah,
I, which is
yeah.
or I would say
So
digestion.
so I think well, how about 4,600 in the S&Ps by January 20th.
Well, I only say that, coach, because you're used to giving aggressive targets. That's all. I
Yeah.
didn't.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't think this is it. There are a few guys I know that think this is it. Peter, a couple of my Peter analysts, they think it's it. Um, But anyway, I think this is pretty negative action
It is.
today.
The VIX is
And
muted.
so,
God
you know,
forbid the VIX goes up. It's still muted. The futures are breaking low, and this is a key reversal. Let me get to some charts, Coach, if you don't
all
mind.
right. So anyway, VIX, you know, we made new highs in the S&Ps. I'll just say one thing because people said, Dale, can you say anything positive about the VIX? And I was scratched my head and
Here
I
you go,
go,
sir.
well, I'm long. Okay, here's something. Two higher lows with resistance being just above, and we get through 14 and a half, we have something. But the market made a new high, and it's a second higher low in VIX. So there, I found something.
For the VIX with these pullbacks already, with Tesla and Apple already pulled back, and the VIX, you're not, by the time the VIX goes back up to 20, you're not going to have to worry. The last thing you're going to be worrying about with the VIX goes to 20 is anything the market driven. Believe me.
Well,
So
the bullish count is that this was you know, the one up here where I remember this day.
I did. I
I
was
said,
selling.
yeah, I said, you know, the VIX, the market's making new lows, and the VIX is making a lower high. I'll never ignore that again.
Coach, you were
All right.
screaming. I'll never forget you going VIX to 40
Yeah, I
in an
know.
alto sound. But it was
All
like
right.
it there. Touche.
But I'm saying here's a more conservative count is that this was and it was, I think, about 10 and a half points.
Yeah, it
And
was.
this just made a new low, which makes it an irregular B. And you could have 16 from here that could take it to 27.
Coach, I wouldn't talk to anybody about buying any chart when it made it the high or low, or with a little bar there or protection. I wouldn't talk to anybody. It's
Yeah.
like talking somebody off a 50-1 shot at the track. You know,
Anyway, I have some expiration poker 180 puts in Apple. You think they're going
good.
to come home? They go off Friday. They're
Uh,
worth a couple bucks. Now they're worthless, but maybe we're going to break down by next Friday because
no, Coach, OPEX could exacerbate the move. You're not asking for much. I mean,
yeah.
things are moving 10% a day. That what you know.
Yeah, I mean, it could takes out 180. There's
Oh,
going to
AMD.
be, you know, some problems. Anyway, that's what I'm seeing. Still think the dollar has more upside. We may be starting a correction, or you know, continuing the correction that we started the first week. Then we came back the second week, but we're giving up all of almost all of, well, half of this week's gains because this day was big. What was it, Monday? All right. So anyway, red candle. I wouldn't buy it.
Listen, it's the best thing about today is that there's news out, so it's digestible. It just didn't happen with a rug pull.
Right.
Uh, which is like what I also like with stocks. When in one of these when I'm in a stock that's up 10 whatever 8%, I don't like there to be news out, because when the news is out, then I'm playing with everybody.
Yeah.
Uh, which means I like it when the news comes afterwards because there's more umph. The good thing about today is the news is out. It's still, by the way, only 11:15. But as I'm going to go to some charts here,
Oh,
uh,
look. All right. I'm going to give it to you. Look, silver's puking.
yeah,
It's down 28
it
right
is.
now.
I'll show
Huh. Go ahead. I'm going to give you the charts
Coach,
now, bro.
you kept me out of that. You kept me out of that trade. The new one it's one of my trades.
Yeah.
All right, let's share a screen and get to some action.
Okay. All right. So that's what I mean. You know, if someone's take on a market keeps you out of something that would have been real premature, it's like a profit because you still have all that firepower,
Oh, not
right?
only that, it's not. Well, it's that, but it's also a mental profit. You're not in a. I mean,
Oh, tell me about it.
Now the VIX is going to pop a little bit. Now, you know what I mean. Now it's getting sexy.
Yeah,
So, I mean, you have some stocks here as the Nasdaq breaks new high. There's like an Etsy, for example. Okay, MU is semi. There's Nvidia having a key reversal day.
yeah,
MCI.
big day,
There you go today. Here's an
big day.
AMD. Now it went through the gap. Now there are
Yeah,
important levels. I don't think the bottom's going to fall out of it. You're going to see 134. You might buy the 180 Apple next Friday if things keep going this way. But, you know, AMD is good tradable. Now it's
it
below
could
the
go to
gap.
27 and a half and be a nice buy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, you
That's
know,
where I'd look at it.
I'll
Prior highs, you know,
listen,
moving
coach,
average. Yeah,
you know,
ABC.
the money's been made on this thing. There's Google. It went to a new year high again.
But look at that
It looked
divergence.
great.
Yeah.
Everybody was saying, Google, I have it. Now it's reversing on a bar.
Yeah.
Maybe it even
Yeah.
goes below here. Okay. But other stocks are acting poorly. His coin, 20-point reversal today, now breaking low. Mara had the news that the Bitcoin ETF is out now. The high of the day on Mara is 29. It's 22. It's going to be approaching record volume. You don't have to. You don't have to have it's tradable. Everything's tradable. Here's a. Let me bring some things up I
I
wrote down.
noticed uranium, the physical uranium market yesterday put in a top. But look, CCJ looks like it wants new highs. That's acting great.
CYTK, this other drug stock, 110 to 82. I'm going to look about buying
Wow.
this for a day trade. I'm going to buy this thing at the 80. I'm going to buy it when right goes through 79. I don't think it's going back to 110, but this is something I'm interested.
Pull
price.
up Tesla. Do you pull up
There's
Tesla?
Tesla. That's the
All
chart.
right. So, I was
Done.
saying, I've been bearish this thing from,
Yes, you
a
have.
while.
You have.
You know what? It's going under 200.
It looks horrible, coach. Not even I'm
I
thinking.
would draw a line off the lows in August and then the low in October and expect that line to be a magnet.
Marna look great now. It's rolling over. XBI, 2 day
Everything is.
XBI.
Yeah.
Well, they are. Look, this SEDG, I was kicking myself for not being long in the morning, coach. It was
Yeah.
like 82. It was 82 and a half this morning. It turned around next time I looked, it was 75. $7. Now it's real. It goes with this run. It's also a solar. Look at this solar stock run. All right, Meta. Everybody was in it. Meta looks the same as Microsoft. They
Yeah.
have the new high reversal. There's ARM. I sold it this morning. I thought it was a chump. Where was selling ARM? Whatever. I shorted Mara too. I took all the money. I
What?
took.
How did you manage Boeing? And it wasn't it over the weekend that when that door blew off the jet?
Yeah. I didn't have it. It was more. You know what happened with Boeing that day, Coach? And please go back to the video because it was one Bitcoin erasing gains after climbing to 2-year high. Keep an eye on the
Yeah.
close. The big boys, if they want out, they'll be out at the close. This is still only 11:15 in the morning. You're
Right.
only 2 hours of trading. Granted, news is out and these stocks have had a nice run. This is, not to be redundant. This really is about the close, considering tomorrow's also a Friday, which gives you a little bit more. I like that. That's why I would like the overnight trade short. Not first of all, every week and every Monday's been opening up like 19 Mondays in a row. Secondly, I like the news is out today to give the wise guys more time to think about what happened. Then on Friday, they'll really act upon it more, and then you'll see a little
There's
bit.
another inflation number tomorrow, the PPI.
Yeah, beautiful. Why not?
So,
Throw it in.
we'll see if it kind of confirms a CPI or maybe it's
I knew
gonna.
was something up today, Coach. The first thing that happened, Uber was upgraded to Goldman Sachs, like a price target
Okay.
84. I apologize if I'm off $1 or two. And I'm like, all right, no problem. Uber's in the S&P. So I'm like, Uber's pre-market was only up. There it is. It opened unchanged. Next thing
Yeah.
I knew, it was up like $1.20. I said, what am I, a moron for not buying this? But I knew something was up because now not only is it down, it's not only is it reversed, it's
Yeah.
reversed on the day. I want to answer your question about Boeing. When that happened on Boeing, here's Boeing's day. It actually closed quite well, and all the other airlines were positive in the morning. Now, the market finished up precipitously well that day, and all the airlines finished up even obviously greener than they were. But that was an indication hold on a second, that the price action showed that was my second. Price action showed sentiment. All the airlines finished positively on that. So, there
Yeah.
we go.
Okay.
I got distracted. Sorry.
That's all right.
Here's
So
the rest of the charts, Coach.
how,
Shopify. I'm kicking myself not taking Shopify. Here was the long term on Shopify as it broke out. Here's the daily. But then I went to the weekly. I was telling Alexis, there's the weekly on Shopify. I said, you know what?
well,
This thing's a little bit extended, and there's the
yeah,
weekly. So I'm
yeah.
looking at the weekly. I didn't think there was that much juice on the punch bowl. And lo and behold, then they pulled a reversal. I'm thinking the same thing. And now you have, some exhaustion, some nice
Look at
exhaustion.
that RSI. Look how long it's been diverging
Well,
with
now it really, but
consecutive.
now if I knew how to draw a
Yeah.
line,
Yeah.
uh, now I would think now Now it went from buying the dips to selling the rallies, even if
That's
it
a
does have
3 drive.
that's
Take a
correct.
picture, or at least a 2. All right.
Anything you have to say, Coach, or any questions in the room?
So you start getting a shopping list out for, maybe late this month, early this month, this thing plays out. Um, Things that you would buy if they sold off 10% or so.
You know what, Coach? The low float situation seems like it's done. For example, let's give you an example. QS.
Yeah.
There was my QS. I was looking, it was $10 a couple of days ago, 3 days ago.
Yeah.
Now it's 8. That's a lot of money on a lot of shares. So, low float season's over. There's a chart on Carvana. You know what I mean? They rolled
Yeah.
over.
Yeah.
There's a chart on AFRM. That's
Yeah.
I'm going to short that. Uh,
Okay.
the CRWD, there's the same situation that was making multi-year highs. Everybody was hopping on board, part of the 7, if not part of the 8. Now I'm not saying one day makes a reversal, but I'm not buying this on a dip. As the market's down nicely today, I think there are more people that want to get out instead of buying the dip on CRWD here. At least that's from my experience. You know what I mean? I mean, you got people that are along this thing from 244 to 287, from, you know what I mean? How
Yeah.
much more do you want from here? I would like it if it pulled back to here, but not, the easy money's been made, Coach. The easy money in Microsoft's been made. You know what I mean? The easy
Yeah.
money in NVIDIA, now people that are going to step their toe in here. You know what I mean? You're going to this is the time where small positions lead to big losers. You buy a little on the dip and you're like, what happened? It's NVIDIA. Then the Magnificent Seven go down and gold happens to rotate. And then you're like, what the
Yeah.
hell happened? So stay prudent. You see my board here. I will say this. I don't know what the market's going to do naturally, but this is more red than I've seen on my screen. Hold on, in months.
Okay.
Months, not even a week. I
Well,
can even say,
TLT is also down pretty good in the last few weeks
well,
from 100
I don't like
to 96.
I don't
So
like Crude have made a hell of a nice rally. You know what I mean? Let's see where the
crude,
VIX ends up. The VIX does have some decent volume. I really want it to go up, not because I want there to be a wash or people get scared out, just because I don't want to be guilty of one of these people that's maybe look Amazon's positive on the day. So if the market's down big and I'm going to buy some Amazon for a trade, it just leads to problems at this point. You know what I mean?
I sure
Everything
do.
that everything that happened today was a sell on the news situation, including some of the 7 making a year high. Now you
Yeah.
said tomorrow there's a number. I get it. Uh, I would be blown away if they erase what happened today and take out to new highs at least because of the charts I see, like a Disney or an Etsy or even something like an MU, which I still think is I like the short, which I think is underperforming as a semi.
Yeah.
It might go below the gap. I don't know, but MU certainly is not going like a Vago does.
Uh,
Or
this should this should set up a nice buying opportunity in the financials, don't you think? I think they have lower to go, but they were the strength. They were the stars going into the end of the year last year.
well,
But we could pull back like this is City. You could see 48, 46.
coach, it's financial earnings week next week.
All right.
It's all
Yeah.
starting with them.
Okay.
Now it's all starting with JP and the boys. Actually, it all starts with Wells Fargo. I believe is the first one to report, which always fools me. But
That looks the best.
it does look the best because it's still got a 10-year lag hangover from all those loans and
Yeah.
everything like that.
Yeah.
Bank season, the only options I see is Morgan Stanley, and I've said that from here, and I said it from here. Morgan
Okay.
Stanley all along.
Okay. How about 3M? You were involved in that one.
I'm that dip. I'm buying every one. I'm not even looking. You know what, Coach? I'm not acting arrogant because A, I'm confident, and B, it's longer term than usual, longer than a week, as you would say.
Okay.
Uh, not a consideration.
Yeah.
I'm in a
Not
cheap.
much to watch anyway.
No, but you know what? If you're
It's
longer from
it's
90, then
stable. Yeah, it's
this is
not
the
nice
weekly.
stable.
You know what I mean? Let it pull back to
Yeah.
the weekly. It's not. I wouldn't even. If it goes to 100, it's still going to here.
You'd buy more.
I wouldn't even flinch.
Okay. I think yeah.
No, this is a
Think
big.
it,
This is a big. This is
this
a.
is a high conviction long term trade
It
for
is.
Mike.
It is. I'd be surprised if I don't get. I'd be surprised if I don't get 180 out of 170.
And you don't hear a lot of him talk about a lot of these, but
No, and the last one you
this
sold
is
this
one.
one at 5. Ooh,
Yeah.
dang. The other one I like is the coach. I'm not, hold on, the Newmont. I do like it. I like
Okay.
the Newmont.
Okay.
But the price action, like I said this morning, I told you, I bought it very briefly. I bought it right here.
Yeah.
I started buying it, buying it, buying it. I got out right. That green thing is a whole sell. By the way, nice sell. That was at 37.80. Now
Yeah.
it's 37.28. That's right down to one of my sayings a couple of minutes ago where I might like it, but I don't want to get nipped on buying and buying it. Then if it doesn't go my way, it cascades, I'm down twice as much in a good position. Then it just, yeah, you have to
Well,
focus.
I think it's right that you've been dating it. I think we're no more than 2 to 4 weeks away from marrying it.
Well, that's fine. That's okay.
Okay. So
Right.
there's a difference coming up, which
Right.
is the spot I've been waiting for. Where I'm going to, get betrothed to the miners. Okay. Looking to marry the miners. Hope
GDX.
there's some nice looking chicks in the mine.
Look at it.
Anyway,
Hang on it.
yeah. Right. Anyway,
CYTX. I have it written down here.
what's it?
79.92. I wanted to buy it. Actually wouldn't get filled. Oh, I would have missed it by.
Oh,
That's where I
yeah,
wanted to buy it. The low that. Look at that. I would have been pissed.
yeah.
See,
You better clean it up. Limit orders, limit success.
I was doing a TradeGATEHub. CCJ coach. There you go.
Yeah, you got out of it near the lows
I
on
did.
every action. Nice.
So listen. Here's the market. The spies, the VIX, crude's up, TLT. There's the chart right here. If you
Doesn't look so good,
Oh,
does it?
if you flipped it over and did the reverse, you'd be longer.
Yeah,
You'd be buying it
yeah,
on a pullback. So
yeah,
why don't you short a rally?
yeah,
I love thinking about that short reversing. It gives me, re-edification.
yeah.
There used to be
So
a nice Twitter feed. Everything you did, it reversed the chart over and it
yeah,
flipped it.
halfway back's about 91.
Meta, Shopify is Meta. All right, we'll see. We'll see if they hold. AMD, it's in the gap now. Trade, bottom line is it's got a good range. It's trading well. So, maybe by tomorrow after the PPI or by January 19th with OPEX, that it'll be a clearer trend. But as you see, the VIX is popping a little bit. So, stay
Yeah.
prudent and start trading a little
Hey,
bit.
hey, did you see how Washington's quarterback looked at the end of the game?
No, I saw his girlfriend, though. You see the girlfriend in the stands?
No, but did you see him? He was holding his side. He looked like someone who traded in the pit who lost his seat that day.
I didn't see
So,
that. I didn't stay
yeah,
up that late.
uh,
I haven't stayed up past 9:30 Eastern since
I
probably
don't either.
Clinton's been in office.
It's our lifestyle. It-
If
you
I don't
know,
wake up, if I don't wake up by 4 and I'm not up by 4, my wife will call the ambulance right away to say there's something happening, not even checking. Banks are
okay,
below the 21 EMA for the first time in months.
okay,
So there's my boy TP, friend of his, but he's right.
okay.
Banks are below the 21 day, and you know what? The
Yeah,
21 day probably even more important than the 50 day at this point because there's a little bit more room to go. So here's the
yeah.
K.
So go to 50 or
Correct,
200. Yeah.
correct. So there we are on there. I'll leave it
All
there.
right. Well, this was a pretty cool day to have a live stream on. A
Yeah.
lot of action. Markets, even the Super Bowls, even Dave H. Contrarian says, you know, there are going to be down days, even if we are going to 7,000.
No,
So
if you don't expect a down day, then you shouldn't be in the business. And I'm not saying that,
yeah,
but you take it.
4,600's pretty big to me in the S&P. That was a breakout. So maybe we're coming back there.
No, that's fine. Like I said,
By
there's
your date, if it happens on the 19th to the 23rd, I think I'm going to ask you to read my palm.
that's okay.
All right.
But
All right,
that's
buddy.
what that's what I'm told. And that was
All
a week
right.
ago. And
Yeah,
also the first 5 days of the month were indicative of the rest of the year. They
yeah,
weren't that
bad.
sexy. They were
No, they
choppy.
weren't.
I would probably say it was probably from what I hear too, and why would I even make the statement? But it's going to be choppier. It's going to be a choppier year.
More challenging.
It's an egregious statement to say that, considering how much can happen. But
Yeah, yeah.
we'll leave it there.
This is a big year. W.D. Gann, who was a market master, where to him time was more important than price, Mike,
Yeah.
so that he would know when to buy something based upon the time of the cycle. And he was known to have timed buys in the wheat to the minute. Okay, long-term cycles to the minute. He said 2023 was going to be okay, but someone, he's long gone. But people who follow his work told me last year, look out for 2024. Wish I would have listened to them. Anyway,
Wish I would have held my baseball cards.
yeah, yeah. I
You
would trade. Yeah, we could trade.
know,
All right, Mike. Well, have a great trading day, and see you in the room.
You too, Coach. Thanks again for leading by example in both trading and with the webcast again.
And viewers, Mike's doing an early morning update where he's before the market opens now, where he's giving his ideas, so you don't have to wait till late. So if you tune in for these, he's giving pre-market uh, ideas and what's going on, so you're ready before the bell. Okay, so
You have to be
watch
ready.
that.
Watch this
Okay,
morning, and
yeah.
we have a plan in the morning. Let it go over it in the afternoon. I'm going to do
I
mine.
think you actually get more. I know it just started, but a lot more people paying attention first thing in the morning because they're ready to go. You know what I mean? But great work, Mike.
You too, Coach.
All
I'm just
right.
reading this Bitcoin right here. You see this news? Hearing from multiple people that their broker has not allowed them yet to access Bitcoin ETFs, including Maryland Vanguard and other clients demanding
Oh,
volatility waivers. So that's what's going on there. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And
Well, the SEC approved it. What's wrong with the broker dealers?
it's 4770, Coach, with trigger mild panic.
In what, the S&P?
Yes.
Okay. I'm looking for 46. That's okay. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, this is more red than look at this Mara. My God, what a range. You have to listen, you have to be in it. You have to get in, you have to get Mara. If not, get yourself a TradeView demo, somehow get involved and just trade. It's the only way you're gonna learn and get your learning curve going. So we'll leave it at that.
Yeah. And hope that you guys are getting the whys behind the ideas so that you could repeat them on
Yes,
your own.
please. Okay, we want longevity. We want you here. Believe me, this is no quick fix.
Learn,
Yes.
learn.
Cheers. Thank you,
You
everyone.
never stop learning.
Cheers.
Adios. See you, Mike.
Okay.